Fyrune universe WIki Shadrack. No, this guy's not meant to be Scottish. I don't think wyverns are Scottish. German, Anglo-Saxon maybe, but definitely not Scottish. I've been using the Scottish accent a lot lately, and for whatever reason I like it. So much so, in fact, that sometimes I kind of speak it naturally, but anyway, here we go. So, let's see, this is Shadrack speaking. I have a tablet with a picture of my father, Meshach, on it. A picture captured using technology that relies on a dragon's sight. A camera my father lets me borrow for taking photographs. It's powered by dragon's sight. And like most dragons my generation, most dragons my age, I do happen to have the gauntlets, the boots, and the webbing for the inside of my wings to help me control my mecha, my giant robot, Drogue, no Shadrack. Called that because it is a Drogue, and it is mine. I also possess my Drogue, no Shadrack. It looks thorny. It looks thorny. A commission. Something I've done I consider sinful. I ruined my father's camera by staring at an object for too long. I borrowed my father's Drogue no Meshach. Drogue no Meshach. But got too close to the sun. And by too close I mean I flew half an astronomical unit toward it. I guess Drogue metal isn't advanced enough for that. Yet. I watched my dad ruin his own Drogue further by breathing on it with a laser that came from down his throat. Not sure why he did that. I made Olga Kromenov read classic mythology to me. I find it fascinating for whatever reason. I tricked my brother into getting into our dad's broken Drogue. Omission, something I've seen that I consider sinful. I watched Varkos murder my father, Meshach, with a weapon I've never seen before, and then remove the ash lung from Meshach. I watched Valkund, a wyvern like myself, kill Tsunigri by beheading the worm. It wasn't a pretty sight. Tsungramo took over the position of chief of the tribe after that. I was among others who helped persuade him to do so. Watched the serpentine Tsungri rip the scales off the worm, Tambornino, right before spitting them back down Tambornino's hide. I was young at the time. I watched myself trick my brother into getting inside our dad's broken Drogue. Watched my brother try to pilot our dad's broken Drogue. I was able to get inside the Drogue quickly before my brother accidentally killed himself. Before my brother accidentally killed himself. Fyrune universe WIki Metro. She almost always wears short shorts.
What are you doing?
Recording. I almost always wear short shorts or skin-tight jeans and V-neck shirts. Sometimes I wear hoodies. During the winter I wear boots. Sometimes I wear a headband. There's always something to snack on in my bag. I enjoy reading. I like to draw. My friends tell me I'm good at it. I like playing with dodecos. And not the tiny ones. The big ones, made of even smaller dodecos. Dodeco spelled D-O-D-E-C-O-S. The tiny ones no one can play with because they're too tiny. The big ones are models, but they still function as true dodecos. I like playing with those. You can use them to build things, to customize things, and you can remote control them. It's so cool. That's beginner level technology, and I'm a little better at technology than that. I'm so glad Fyrunes have user-friendly interfaces built in. I love singing. One day I want to sing professionally. I wish I knew how. One day my singing will destroy Fyrunes, and one day my singing will destroy Sky Raiders and conquer the world. Soon I'll be attending Fyrune Academy, getting into space and piloting Fyrunes. The only thing the Academy lets people wear is what they tell people to wear. It's a dictatorship, a discipline. Besides, I know people at the Academy, and it's not as though the school is oblivious to fashion, but fashion will destroy Sky Raiders or end wars. I hate wars, but I hate the Sky Raiders more. I love rock and roll, but I love jazz more. My hair isn't really red, but sometimes it looks dark red, an illusion I like to play with by making my middle bang bright red. My hair is more auburn, but there is some dark red in it. My hair is straight for the most part, but likes to curl at the end. I love flying, but floating about in space is something I've never been fully used to. Being in space is cool though. I just wish it were easier on the stomach. The zero-G feeling can be so weird. That's why I like the magnetic boots the Academy makes pilots wear. Technology is so cool. I'm just not always the best at it. Science is cool. I excel at that. Sometimes Fyrune scare the hell out of me, especially when they do that weird merging into or away from the colonies that float about in the solar system. Why do dragons hate humans so much? Dragons are such beautiful creatures. I'd love to have one. Ah, the commission section. I borrowed a textbook without permission, but never gave it back. Scribbled some notes in the same textbook. Laughed too long and too loud at a boy's joke. Let a boy watch me undress. I think it was Drake who saw me strip down to lingerie. Made pizza for dinner instead of pasta one night, and then made pasta instead of pizza the following night. Reported the girls who were smoking pot in math lab. They got suspended. Tried making out with Riley. Wound up making up with Drake. Went on a date with Lance to make Drake jealous. The omission section. Watched Bradley Snipe verbally abuse my friend Tamiko. Watched girls in math club smoke pot. Watched boys and girls in science club make out. I tried asking a boy to make out with me, except Riley felt too weird about doing it, probably because he's not the tallest guy around. So he convinced Drake to make out with me. Drake was blushing the entire time. Metro has a glow-in-the-dark poster of a fluffy-looking cartoon character magnetically stuck to the inside of her fighter's cockpit. She has a headband she sometimes wears. She has a band that she'll use sometimes to put her hair back in a ponytail. Sometimes she even uses that band to pull back her side bangs, which can get quite long. She has t-shirts. Well, she has shirts with a v-neck. She'll wear shirts sometimes. Pants other times. She'll wear skirts sometimes. Pants other times. When she wears pants, she doesn't always wear underwear. Her hair is naturally dark red auburn, but she likes to dye one of her bangs red. Her middle bang is almost always dyed a shade of red. Sometimes she'll wear a headband because that makes her feel like Ixion. She's really into traditional stuff, even though she usually wears modern clothes. She has collections of traditional garments from various cultures. Her favorite culture is Japanese because of how warm the robes always are. From a historical point of view, the culture that came from Vienna during the 19th century is her favorite. She likes quiet, and yet she's a bit of a party girl. Otherwise, she wouldn't get free drinks. For her birthday, her friend got her a metronome, which she uses when playing percussion. Metro is not her real name, nor is metronome. When Kayla was 4, she threw cereal at her father's forehead over and over again in such a fashion that he decided to call her metronome, quote-unquote. The name Metro, quote-unquote, stuck with all her friends. Those closest to her know her real name. There's something about Drake that gives her strong feelings. Positive or negative, she doesn't know yet, and for now would prefer to keep her relationship with him a friendship.